Very good evening to all of you. I hope I am audible to you all.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Very good evening. So thank you all. My sincere thanks to all for participation and your interest in learning about the skills and in
where the library speaks, or the director of the library speaks and sends a message, while the personal librarian messaging is a much more informal way of communicating. And it encourages students to be consistent when they need it, how they need it, to the extent
I
that
think someone is playing audio. So please, I request all of you to please mute your this audio so that we can discuss properly. And I guess that this particular meeting, we will be talking almost everything which is required for a library professional at the early age. Because what happens when we start the career or when we just finish our library science course, or after some time we feel that okay, what are the things I should be knowing. So keeping that in mind, because I also faced the same issue when I started my career. So the basic purpose of keeping this a very simple topic is to interact with those professionals who are really in need of the discussion that what they should know or what they should learn, so that it may or it will help in future. So my submission before starting this meeting is to you all that please pay attention and do not raise any question in between. If you have any query or question, we will be discussing at the end of this session. The second point I would like to mention here that I'm going to break up this session in two parts, because when I started preparing my presentation, so it became too lengthy. So I thought it will be very difficult to make you sit for a longer time, and also it will be difficult for me to discuss everything in a one sitting. So that's why I divided this meeting into two parts, and I hope I will try my level best to cover everything in this meeting, and rest of the things which is left I will discuss in the next meeting, probably by tomorrow. So once again, I welcome you all to this meeting, and with your kind permission, I would like to start the session now. Some of the people are in queue, so let me allow them so that they can also join and we can interact. So I'm going to share my presentation. And as you all are aware that the topic is is very simple. I'm a young library professional. What I must know. What we do basically when we start the career, many things we know and many things we do not know. Some of the things which we do not know, we come to know at a very later stage, or can see that you can say that we come to know after some time. By the time we start realizing that, oh, I should have learned this at the early age. So I think this particular meeting is going to help those professionals who are really in need of the discussion. So uh, the outline of the meeting today is that we are going to talk about the skills which is required in one professional. Then straightway we are going to discuss about the resources which are a very key component in the when we impart services or when we provide services in the library as a library professional. So we have to think that what are the services or what are the services to be provided to the users, and also what are the resources to be provided to the librarians, and what are the basically what are the services available for users. So then we have a lot of technology these days, especially in library. It is being implemented throughout the world, and I think we are all familiar with this. It is not like means something is new, but on means it is true that every day we are, or we can sense the development in technology which is changing the situation day by day. And these technologies are very essential in library. So we have to ensure that we learn and we implement all those technologies in our library. This is very important. Then we are going to talk about the role of information literacy, role of digital literacy. Why should we know? Because in the digital era, digital literacy or information literacy, these are playing a very major role in marketing the library services. In especially, you might have seen that most of the users these days, they find very you can say less interested, or they do not want to come to library. The reason is that everything is available these days online. So when the transformation has taken place, and there has been lot means you can say the changes taken place. So we also need to upgrade our skill, otherwise we will be failing in our duty in order to provide the better services to the end users. So we have to ensure that we learn all these so that we will be getting opportunity to provide our best services to the end users. Okay, so and at the last of session, we are going to discuss some of the basic soft skills, because these days we are talking only about the technology. We are talking only about the housekeeping operation in library. We are only talking about the procedure. We are talking about the manuals, digital repository, library website, automation, RFID, and the latest advanced technologies. But somewhere we are forgetting about our soft skills. Like we are forgetting about our emotional intelligence. Being a leader, one is supposed to have the emotional intelligence, because he or she, when you become an administrator in library, you have to think from the different perspective, and that time these skills are very essential. If you do not have that emotional skill or emotional intelligence, perhaps you may not be able to execute the duty means to the maximum extent. No doubt you will be providing the services, but you can improve that services with the help of emotional intelligence, or I can say that some of the soft skills if we develop these days. The reason behind discussing the soft skill is that the soft skill, generally there is no any mechanism to develop soft skill, that is inside us. Only what we have to do, that we have to develop the skill, we have to inculcate, or we have to you can say that kick that skill so that that comes out and we can take maximum advantage of that skill. So I hope I'll be able to discuss most of the things today. And my other friends who could not join this meeting due to the number of participants reached to the 100, I request all of them to please, or if there anyone is in the waiting, so I request all of you to please pass this message that this meeting is also being streamlined, means available online on YouTube channel Librarian Guide. So those who are not able to join the meeting, they can directly come to Librarian Guide YouTube and they can join the session and they can get benefited. And the last, we will have the question answer session. So let me start with the first slide. What does it say? Uh, as you can see that the skill is the ability. We all know that the meaning of skill. Skill is one ability which helps to perform an action with determined result, often within a given amount of time, energy, or both. So the description is very simple. You can say it is one kind of ability which allows us to perform different activities at the different time, at different place, or in different action. So basically, if you see the image, let me show you the image, and you will find that this particular image describes everything. If you look into the image, you will find that there are two component, especially the when we talk about the skill, that is the hard skill and the soft skill. If you bifurcate the hard skill and soft skill, you will get plenty of list, like technological skill, professional skill. There are many, and these skill play a role in different areas. So basically I have divided into two part, that is the hard skill and soft skill. So if we look into the hard skill, it deals mainly with the proficiency of languages. Then we have our degree or certificate, like we do believe, mlib, or phd, mphil. All these degree help us to execute our duty or routine work in the library. Some of the other skill I'll be talking about, those come, means those are also very essential in library, especially when we perform different kind of duty in library. So these other skill play or help a lot in executing our day-to-day routine work, like typing or operating some different applications we every day use. So I'll be showing you some of the good application which can help you to make your work easy. Then some of the computer other online websites which are having lot of uh, advantages for different purposes. And if you look into the soft skill part, so you get like communication, flexibility, leadership, teamwork, time management. And we will be talking all these when we start going in depth. So let us talk about the hard skill. As I showed you in the previous slide, that this particular hard skills deals with the professional, our qualification, or you can say the professional skills, which include your degree, means your course, whatever you have done, whether it is diploma, certificate course, or degree course, believe, mlib, mphil, phd. So these, when we do these courses, we get an opportunity to learn about the library, what exactly we do in library, what are the processes we follow in the library. So a professional, when we complete that time, we remain blank because we do not know anything. Only whatever we are taught in the classes, whatever we are taught by our respected teachers. So we get information. Okay, means if they are teaching about classification, they are teaching about cataloging or web development, whatever. So we come to know, okay, these are the things which are included in the library science courses. But when we come into the real practical scenario, so we find difficulty, because some of the time what happens, what we have learned, those things may not be applicable in the real practical scenario. So we have to we have to have the knowledge about the whole professional skill, so that if it is not applicable, so that we can utilize, or in other way also we can execute our duties. So we will be discussing about that. And then proficiency in language, expertise in technology, operating different applications, typing speed. So if I start with the professional skill, which cover your degree. So let me assume that you are a library professional, and you may be having a different, you can say the different designation. Like some of you might be librarian, some of you might be deputy librarian, assistant librarian, senior library information assistant, library assistant. So all these designations or all these professionals have the different role. But just go a little back. When we do the degree, whether I'm a librarian, whether I'm assistant librarian, whether I'm senior library information assistant, we all have learned about all these when we were doing our degree. So the my point is to focus in this area, that being a library professional, one is supposed to learn or to know thoroughly about the library processes, means library housekeeping operation, you can say. And these housekeeping operations include the complete acquisition process, the complete technical processing, the complete circulation management, complete serial control, then e-resource management, the administration of the library. When we count the number of professional working in the library, so we divide the work, or you can say the different professional have the different set of work, and accordingly they perform. But if you look at the background, they all have the knowledge about all the work. But sometimes what happens, if you do not know the particular work in the library being carried out, so in that situation you may face problem. So one is supposed to have their thorough knowledge about the library housekeeping operation. I will briefly I will brief little about each section or each process, like acquisition, control, serial control, technical processing, and e-resource management. So you'll have an idea, and also you will just get an idea to think beyond this. So it will help you to develop your skill in future. I request all the participants to please mute your means audio, so that it does not create any disturbance. I can hear some of noise of the children. Please do not do that. Okay. So moving to the next, when we start
चालू कर
discussion
चालू
about the acquisition of the
सर आप वहीं से म्यूट ऑल कर दीजिए.
yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Okay, I will continue because I'm not able to locate where that because I think my
Sir?
slide is under sharing, so it is not available.
No sir, when you click on upper part, you see participant.
Okay.
Then there have an option mute all.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay.
I have muted. I guess you all are getting my means I'm audible to you all. Okay, please do not unmute. My dear participants, please do not unmute yourself because it is creating unnecessarily the problem. and it is creating problem for others. Okay, so when we talked about the acquisition process, okay, so this acquisition process, when we start the acquisition process in library, so basically it starts with the recommendation. I'm talking about the book only. I'm not talking about the uh, ebooks, or I'm not talking about the e-resources or other document. I'm talking about the physical document. Generally, in especially in our country, the meaning of acquisition, it is described as as the subscription or the purchase of books only. But in fact, or in real sense, the acquisition means the purchase of any item. So when you deal with any software, you might have seen that acquisition deals not only with the book, it also has the option of dealing with other document. But here, especially keeping the Indian scenario, the process starts with the receiving and means a recommendation from the users. You can say the means authorized users. Every user, whoever is the member of library, cannot recommend the purchase of books or cannot recommend the subscription of the document. There is a set of people or the authorized, you can say users. They have the privilege to recommend the book in library. So once we receive the recommendation in the library, what we do, we collect it from the users, and then we do the duplicate checking, because we already may be having the documents in the library, books in the library. So in that sense, what happens, we have to ensure that yes, the document is available or not. So we have mechanism of these days about library automation which help us to check the duplicacy of the item. If the document is available in the library, we prefer not to purchase it. Why? Because it will duplicate the item in the library. But suppose if it is not available, so we proceed further, and then we intimate the users, yes, we are proceeding. Or we have any query with the user, we just confirm it. In between, there are some other processes. In some other library, they follow some different method. But in general, when the means recommendation is received in the library, it requires approval. In some library, there may be provision of having the means pre-approval, because suppose the recommendation has been received by the library from the authorized user, so it is assumed that yes, this item can be purchased subject to the availability of fund in the library. Now there may be another scenario that yes, whatever the document means suggestion we are receiving in the library, it is not going to be directly purchased, because this particular item needs approval. So we prepare the list, and based on the list, what we do, we just prepare the list and send for the approval to the higher authority, or whoever is the you can say whoever is responsible for approval. So we just send it to the competent authority. Once we get approval, so we proceed for further purchasing of the book. So we send the order to the respective whoever is ready to provide based on the empanelment of the different vendors. So in that case, what happens? We send the purchase order, and when it goes to the vendor, vendor supplies the item to the library along with the invoices, and then it comes to library. And after that, we process the book as well as the invoice, and that invoice is sent further to the finance department for making the payment. So this is the whole process. And once the payment is done, the book is available for sending it to the technical processing for adding the metadata or completing the catalog in the library. So this is about the acquisition. So now why did I mention here? I should cancel this meeting. Means
Sorry, sir.
after
I have
after
one
making
suggestion.
lot of requests
Sir,
and
सर
some of
प्लीज सर एक सजेशन था, जैसे ही आप म्यूट ऑल पे क्लिक करेंगे तो वहाँ पे ऑटोमेटिक चेक लगा हुआ आता है कि पार्टिसिपेंट खुद से म्यूट कर सकते हैं। अगर आप
Yes.
उसको चेक कर देंगे तो वो लोग म्यूट नहीं कर पाएंगे खुद से, म्यूट नहीं कर।
Okay. Yes. So the basic means we have discussed about the acquisition, that the particular acquisition deals with the different processes, and here the professional has to be very logical, especially when I talk about the acquisition, especially in the big libraries. So the whoever is dealing with the particular acquisition of the book or acquisition of any item, it requires a lot of logical decision. Whether means let me start with means recommendation first. When we start collecting the recommendation from the means different authorized users, so there we have to be very logical in checking the duplicacy of the document, because if we commit mistake in checking the duplicacy of the item or the book, what will happen? It may means skip, or if it is not checked with the proper logic or the proper method, so what will happen? There will be a chance of duplicacy of the item, which will unnecessarily consume your means fund from your total budget. So here the role of information means library professional is very important. Whoever is dealing with the acquisition of the different item has to take a very means sincere effort in order to check the duplicacy of the item. The second process, when we send the means purchase order to different vendors, you can say. So what will happen that we have to ensure not only that simply we are selecting and sending. We may be having the impaneled vendor or list of vendors who can supply the item, but there we have to be very logical, because when the purchase order is being sent, that those people have to means those vendor have to supply the item on time. So we have to look into the different aspect, whether the item which is being ordered, whether it is going to be supplied on time or not. So here you have to be very logical. Then when it comes to the processing of the order, means suppose once it is sent to the vendor and the vendor replies with by sending the different means your purchase orders, book and invoices. So you have to see that the particular invoices are processed very properly, because you may be sending the order to different vendors, different titles. When it comes to you, what will happen? Many times it happens. Many times I have personally observed this, that suppose you are receiving the document not in a good condition. So there you have to be logical. The item which was purchased, suppose it is being you can say the price of that particular item is in the foreign currency. So there also you have to be very logical. The amount should not be paid means, or it should be paid as per the your policy of the library. So all these, when the library professional is dealing with the acquisition of the items, should take care of this very properly. Otherwise, this may create your budget management problem, and you will be answerable, because here you have to So, or you have to keep the record that what are the documents you have purchased in the library and why it was purchased, because sometimes it is objected, it is questioned also, why have you purchased, where is the where is the record, or where is the suggestion, or where is the recommendation. So you have to be very sincere in taking the logical decision. You have to think about the exchange rate also, because exchange rate uh, gives you an opportunity, or you can say that this exchange rate will decide how much amount you are going to pay for that particular item. Then book order procedure, maintenance of different databases. I will come to this part when we are going to deal with the library automation and generating the different acquisition report. The session is going to be little bit lengthy. That's why I divided into two parts, because when we start dealing with the housekeeping operation, the housekeeping operation itself is very lengthy. So why I'm taking effort in you can say discussing all these, because when you deal practically all these items in library, you come across many difficulties. So these processes one has to follow, because these are connected to the funding or budget, your library budget directly. So if you do not play, or if you do not think logically, if you do not pay attention, or if you are committing mistake, so it is going to be going to invite problem in future. Now moving to the second part, that is the very important uh, part of your complete housekeeping operation. We call it as a cataloging or technical processing. Here you can say when the document from acquisition section is sent to the technical section for cataloging, so we catalog the item as per the one rule, you can say SBD rule or ACR2 code, which has defined clearly the set of rules we have to keep in mind. 2 decades back, you can say, especially in India, the condition was different. Libraries were not using the library automation software. Still, many libraries are struggling. They are not in position to use the library automation software. The reason behind this is that due to the lack of expertise in the technology, due to the lack of you can say assistance in using the library software. So all these are responsible for not using the library automation software these days in library. But uh, 2 decades back, when we just take the scenario, many libraries they were using the manual card or physical card. So there, the cataloger used to play a very major role. He or she used to prepare the catalog as per the Anglo means ACR2 code, and those catalogs were responsible for retrieving the document in the library. But these days, due to the emergence of library automation, these days every library automation has the provision of online public access catalog. So which allows you to manage account, which allows you to search the catalog, which allows you to renew or reserve the item, and also to provide the feedback. And one very good thing is you can say can be seen in the latest software these days, that each software these days has the provision of sending the feedback for making the purchase, for purchasing that item. So the advent of technology has given an opportunity to libraries to manage the purchase procedure or to manage the technical processing with the help of technology. So what I am trying to means highlight here, that we have to learn this process, especially the library professional who is at very young stage has to learn this cataloging procedure. Means he or she has to learn how to catalog the item. And these days you means we are using the international standard format, that is mark 21. I think most of us are aware, but we have to learn about mark. We have to know each and every tag subfield where what to enter. Like suppose I'm taking the example of one book. So one book, when we are doing the data entry in software, then we have to think that where I have to enter author, where I have to enter title, where edition, where volume, And if any item I am doing the data entry, if anything which is not being accommodated, so where I am going to add. So for this, I will suggest especially all of you to go to my website www.dptripathi.co.in, and there you will have one download section. There I have developed one Android application, Mark 21. So all of you just go on that website and just download that Mark app and install in your smartphone. That will give you a very good means you can say option, or you will have option to browse all the mark tags, and you will learn everything in detail with example. That is based on the Library of Congress. You all may be aware that Library of Congress is responsible for maintaining the mark, or they convince the idea of mark. So based on the Library of Congress Mark 21, I developed one Android application, and that is available on website. You just download and install it. You will get clear cut idea that how to use the mark. And also you will find one document on that place, that Mark 21, 22 pages, one PDF, which has the different examples that how to do the data entry of different set of books. Like one book may have one author case, two author case, three author case, more than three author case, one author, one editor. Like that, you may be having multiple cases. There may be case of multiple volume, there may be case of multi-volume case, there may be pseudonym case, or there may be you can say report meetings, or so many things. So there you will find the details. So you just get that file or get the Mark app and you learn that fully, so that it will help you to understand Mark first. Second point, I am coming to this catalog technical processing. Why it is very important, why you need to learn Mark, because it allows, or it the total data entry, uh, the catalog search is totally dependent on your total data entry. If you make mistake, or you are not providing the right information to the right place for the right book, so the document is not going to be retrieved by the right user. This is means going to create problem. There may be scenario that the book is available in the library, but you will not be able to find because the data is not entered properly. And how it happens, let me tell you. The authority file management, you might be aware about this authority file management. The importance of this file management is it provides an opportunity to reduce the duplicacy of the metadata, especially in case of author. Let me give you an example. Suppose you have taken you are doing the data entry of RK Sharma. One book is written by RK Sharma. The full name of that particular author is the Rajkumar Sharma. So one cataloger today is doing the data entry. He may do the data entry with the name Sharma, comma RK. Okay. After 1 year or 2 years, suppose the cataloger leaves the job or is transferred to some other section. What will happen? The another cataloger will come in his or her place, and he may not be aware that how the entry of the RK Sharma was done. If the second book of that particular author comes in the library, he may enter the data as Rajkumar Sharma. So you can see here the difficulty. The same author is having two entry in the database. Now, if somebody search with the Rajkumar Sharma, so he or she will fetch only one record, because RK Sharma does not describe that the full name of Rajkumar Sharma is RK Sharma. So here the role of authority file is very, very important. So when we do the data entry, the means all the software have the provision of creating the automatic authority file. But if it is not there, so you need to create the authority file, so that when you are doing the data entry, there may be different set of tags where you are supposed to enter the duplicate data, or you can say that you need to enter the information there. So what will happen that this authority file will help you to do the data entry properly. So you have to have the thorough knowledge about the cataloging process, especially the metadata which you are going to enter. The second part, the authority control. You don't have to worry much about authority control if you're dealing the technical processing with the library automation software, because most of the library automation software take care of this part very sincerely. Now, after that, the retrospective conversion, many times it happens that many libraries, they have some old collection and we need to do the data entry, because that those data does not come with the acquisition process. Those data or those retrospective conversion take place of the old documents which were purchased or which has come to library through different methods. Sometimes it may come through gratis, sometimes it may come through like suppose it is lying or it is given by other department, it is given by the other university as a donation, or there may be different case. So in that cases, retrospective conversion, which is not directly dealing with the acquisition process, you need to do the data entry of these items also, and in a similar manner. Only the difference that these retrospective documents will not have the acquisition process. Direct data entry you will have to do in the software. Then report, that we will come later about the report part. Coming to the circulation, these circulation play a very important role in the library. As I mentioned that technical processing decide the searching of the information, or you can say the information retrieval in the library. In the same way, the circulation also is very important, because if we are dealing the housekeeping operation in the library with the help of software, so the software manages both the technique means catalog as well as the user management. So what will happen, with the help of user management, the circulation takes place. For example, I have to issue one book to one user, so I must know the name of the user, also name of the book, then only the circulation can take place. So the software has must have the entry of both. So in that case, the metadata which you are maintaining for the book and metadata which you are maintaining for the member, both play a major role and both will decide the retrieval of the information of the particular item or particular user. Suppose one document has been issued to one user, and the due date is over, and after that what happens, after due date is over, the document is still lying with the user, and in that case what will happen, the user is not returning. So another user can reserve the book, so that when the book is returned to library, user will come to know that this particular item is available with this, or it has come to library, now it can be issued. So the circulation also is directly related with the your information retrieval. The information professional has to learn this technique, that how the data is managed properly, so that the information can be retrieved uh, in a very effective manner. Now moving to the next part here, the serial control. Serial control I will describe. Let me start here. When we deal with the acquisition, this is one. Second part, the technical processing, and third, circulation. So you will see that acquisition, technical processing, and circulation, all these are related with each other. As far as the serial control in academic library is concerned, it is little you can say the different, or it has been considered since beginning as a different case. So we follow the serial management in library in the different way. So the professional has to learn, or we are supposed to learn about the serial management in library thoroughly. How it is different, let me clarify, or let me explain in a simple way. In case of book, what we do, we we collect the suggestion, we collect the recommendation, and after that recommendation, what we do, we prepare the list, we get the approval, and we have impaneled vendors, we send the order to those vendors, and in return the vendor supply the item, means document and invoice, and based on that invoice the payment is made. So what we have done, we have placed the order, and here we have made the payment at the end of receiving the document. In case of serial control, what happens? In case of serial control, we make the payment at the beginning. So this is the basic difference. What we do, we collect the suggestion, we take the approval, we do everything whatever the means required to in order to start the purchase. We select, okay, these print periodicals, or the periodicals have to be subscribed for this particular year in the library. We prepare the list, we just select this will be given to this vendor or this supplier. What happens, it goes, we receive the invoice, and we make the payment in the early stage, means we make advance payment. And after that, what happens, it starts coming to library, then we keep receiving in the library. Let me tell, from here new subscription starts, we start in putting the serial data. Then if it is the case of renewal, like means we have already subscribed last year, so this year it will be the case of renewal. If we are dealing first time, it will be case as a new subscription. Then after making the payment, we start receiving the different issue and we do the data entry. If you are dealing with the software, we do the data entry in the software. If you are dealing with the Cardex system, so we receive the issues in the Cardex, and once the volume is completed, we send it for binding. And in case, out of suppose one print periodical have 12 issues and it is not complete in all respects, suppose the issue number 3 is left out, or it is missing, or the vendor or the particular supplier could not supply due to some reason. So in that case, we generate the claim so that we can re-get that particular issue, or in case if it is not available or it cannot be supplied, so the claim can be adjusted with the credit note or whatever the different method. So this total serial control is, this is the manual process I have explained. But when we come to the automation part or the software part, so it has similar process, but it has the different structure. Means we start with the collecting the suggestion, we make the payment. After that, we schedule in the software that particular what we do in the Cardex. So in software we schedule it, and then we start receiving as means we receive the different issue in the different month in the library, and after completing the total volume, we send it for binding to have the complete bound as a bound volume. So in software also we do the same mechanism. So the when we deal with the serial control, we have to be very logical. Let me clarify why. As I told you, in the acquisition process, we have to be very logical because it is directly connected to the fund or the budget, or means it involves a lot of financial issues. Similarly, when we deal with the serial control, it also involves a lot of financial issues. So like when we are sending the order, before that we have to ensure that what is the actual price of this particular journal. Then we have to ensure if it is a foreign journal, then what means how it is going to be taken care. Then suppose any claim is means any issue, particular issue is missing, so that also we have to keep in mind, and we have to know that how and when the claim to be settled. So this particular item, when we deal with the serial control, the professional has to be very sincere in deciding the things, otherwise it will create problem. So especially when you start dealing with, you come across so many issues, you can sort it out slowly, but these are the processes which you have to keep in mind so that you can do the things easily without any hindrance. Now moving to the e-resource management. E-resource management is a very also we subscribe e-resources in the similar pattern, but the process is little different in comparison to the print periodicals. As you can see that there is a life cycle of e-resource management. I will describe it very you can say I will describe it in a simple way so that you understand it properly. See, this is the life cycle of e-resource, and this particular acquisition management involves lot of things. Like when we deal with the subscription of any e-resource, so it starts with the first it starts with the budget, that whether you are in position to buy, because e-resources are very costly in nature. But if you take the database, if you take the data set, if you take the ebooks or whatever, so these are very costly in nature. So before starting, we are supposed to have, or we are supposed to check it whether we have the sufficient budget to go ahead with the subscription or not. Then we ensure, yes, we can go ahead, there is no issue. So there we get the selection, there we get the you can say means trial use. Suppose we come to know means we come to decision after having discussion with the committee members, after having discussion with the concerned department or faculty or the different authorized users, we come to conclusion, yes, we can go ahead with the subscription, but before that trial is required. So what we do, we initiate the, or we request the particular publisher that you initiate the trial so that we can have the access in the our campus, so that our users can browse it and come to know that what are the different features these documents have or these e-resources have. So this help you to evaluate this process. When you get the trial, it helps you to evaluate the e-resources, and after that what happens, we authenticate means bibliographic information of the e-resources, and then we negotiate the price. When I tell the negotiate, library is not supposed to negotiate. This is what I feel. The negotiation should be means should take place with the help of any body, especially in India. When we deal means you all may be aware that there is a consortia. Consortia is a body which takes care of the negotiation, or which helps the organization or the different institutions or universities to decide the price for the subscription for that particular year. So especially there are consortium which deal or which negotiate the price of those e-resources which are required by different institution. So on behalf of these institutions, these bodies, these consortium, they negotiate the price and they come to the fixed price which is applicable to all the institute, and with that fixed prices the purchase process is completed. The second scenario may be, that the purchase process, wait 1 minute, the purchase process, what happens when it starts. So there may be scenario that the particular consortia does not deal with that you can say that e-resource, or the publisher is not ready to be the part of that consortium. So in that case, library is supposed to have the direct discussion with the people who are dealing with the e-resource, that publisher, and then we can have the negotiation so that we can come to the final price, and after that we can have the ordering process. So that when it goes means it goes for when we send the order, in similar way we get the invoice and we make the payment, and it is the access is enabled for use in the campus or for use by the users. So this particular area, when we talk means acquisition management, it involves these process. When it is done, then it comes to the access management. This access management is very important and one has to be very, very sincere, because when you complete the purchase process, it has to be ensured that whatever the document as per the purchase order has been subscribed is being accessed in the campus, or is being accessed, or we have the access of the particular that subscribe resource. If you are dealing with the databases, what happens, e-databases will have a number of journals, or you can say the large, you can say, for example, let me take the example of Elsevier or Springer. When you subscribe the database, you will be having more than 500 journals in that particular package. So you may not be going to have the access of all the journals at a time. So you have to ensure that whatever the journals have, e-journals have been subscribed, whether it is accessible or not. So there you have to check the authentication, you have to check the authorization. It has to be checked whether it is available on open access or not, um, online public access catalog or not. You have to manage your library portal so that you can have the A to Z list for easy access. And you all can go to the library, means our library, that is library.nitrkl.ac.in, and you can click on that particular e-resource link. So you will get all the individual list, alphabetical list, so it helps to access the resources with ease. Now then we have to think about the browsing list. If all the journals are in the alphabetical list, we have to ensure that these lists are available for the users easily. So this, all these include, means come under the access management. And the third is the administration, which is responsible for holding the list, which is responsible for the URL maintenance or claim. Claim in the sense, if there is any issue, or if it is not it has not been provided by the publisher. So in that case, you have to uh, deal with the publisher and get the access of those items, or you have to claim. Then support management, one has to ensure to have the logs of all those problems, which is responsible for access, and the acquisition management, and also the troubleshooting if there is any problem in access of the resources. So this support management will help you to fix the issue in order to get the access of those resources. And again, evaluation and monitor management, you need to ensure that the usage statistics, I suppose I have purchased the e-resources of that particular uh, publisher, I get 500 journals. So what has been the use of that particular resource in that academic year? If it is not checked, what will happen? May not come to know the exact use of those resources, and we may be paying the huge amount, and ultimately if it is not, so that amount, you can say that it is going to be misused. So in that situation, we have to learn, or we have to ensure that we check the usage statistics. And it is the job or responsibility of the person who deals with the life cycle of e-resource management. One has to ensure that all the points are met very sincerely and clearly. And in all the process here, there is one more component, that is the license agreement. When we subscribe any e-resource with the publisher, we have to ensure the license agreement is signed, because there may be different cases. There may be cases of, you can say, the subscription, next year we do not go with the subscription. So what will be the perpetual access? This year I have spent a lot of amount in subscription of the resources, but next year if I drop, so what will happen of my previous year which I paid? So how I'm going to get those resources for which I have paid the huge amount last year? So these issues have to be very, very means clarified before you settle, means ensure the subscription of that particular resource. Okay, so I hope I have discussed about e-resource management in simple way. If you have any query or question, please note it down. We will discuss at the end of session, and we will see that yes, 5 participants, they have already raised the hand. So I request all of you to please do not stop me here. Otherwise, it will create problem for others. We will discuss the question at the end of session. Now, the language proficiency, as I told that the high means hard skills require the different skills, and language proficiency is one of them. Especially many people, they find very difficulty uh, in communicating. So this is my personal belief, and I have personally experienced that most of the people means they struggle in communication, they struggle in language proficiency. So a professional has to ensure that he or she is very proficient in, especially in language, whether it is writing or whether it is uh, uh, speaking. So in that case, you can help means get the help from these online website, learnenglish.britishcouncil.org or britishcouncil.in/english. So you get an opportunity to learn the grammar, vocabulary, business skill, general English. You will be getting all the detail here. So you have to ensure that how you improve your skill here. Then moving to the next slide, and that will give you the some other the expertise in technology. uh, I will means mention here very clearly that library professional or everyone these days, especially the young library professional, has to think about this very seriously, because in coming years, the scenario of the library is going to be really very different. So in that case, one has to equip with all these expertise in the different using the technologies in the library. Like, you have to ensure that you have thorough knowledge about the library automation software. And this is my personal belief that if one has the thorough knowledge of the library housekeeping operation, can easily handle the library automation software, because library automation software does the same thing what we do the manually in housekeeping operation. So one has to ensure that library automation software you learn thoroughly. And especially I recommend the open source automation software, library automation software, that is Koha, which has a very strong and robust technology in order to deal the all the housekeeping operation. Coming to the next part, now you may be having the question that how do I learn all this. So for that, I'll be telling you the resources to access for more detail. Then coming to the digital repository software, these days every institution who are dealing with the scholarly output or who are dealing with the research output, they are maintaining their repository. So especially the professionals who are joining the new organization, or who are going for the interview for the selection of any post, they are supposed to have the knowledge about all these, because you may be questioned about whether you have knowledge about automation software or not, whether you know about the management of the digital object or not. So this is very very important, and one has to learn about all this. Then web application development will help you to reach the end user, especially the web application development software. Like, there are many open source category software which can help you to reach the end user, which can help you to market your library resources with ease, which can help you to decide many things. You can uh, provide the different services using this web application development software. So please ensure that you learn it. How to learn? These are there are plenty of resources which can help you to learn about the web application development. And especially means there is a YouTube channel which I am managing, that is the Librarian Guide. So if you face any difficulty in using library automation software, Koha, DSpace, or Joomla or WordPress, so you can go and that is very exhaustive tutorial I have prepared that can help you a lot in order to access or use these technology in the library. Then virtual bay guide software, subject guide software, that is the Subject Plus. And if it is means you are not using the Subject Plus software for managing your subject guide in the library, so there are other software also, or you can develop the portal with your skill. Like if you are having the knowledge of CSS and HTML, so you can develop your own portal which can decide or help means which can help you to manage your all the resources with these, and also guide many people in the library, many users in the library to reach the particular document with ease. Then reference management tool, especially we all write the paper, we all write the research document, research proposal, and every time we have to either use for personal use, or we have to have, being a library professional, we are supposed to provide lot of services and also assist the research scholars or faculty to manage their research document. So especially the reference management tool I recommend is means particularly the Mendeley, which is the product of Elsevier, and it is a free software. It is providing 2 GB the cloud storage, and this will help you to manage your reference with ease. If you get means that there are plenty of resources where you can improve your skill, you can come to know how to use this Mendeley. And also the tutorial is available on Librarian Guide, but there are other sources also which can help you to learn Mendeley. So it is very very required. These four items means five items which I mentioned in the beginning, in my opinion, in the current digital era, every library professional must learn and improve the skill to use automation software, digital repository software, web application development software, virtual subject guide software, and any reference management tool. Whether you are using Mendeley, Zotero, InNote, anyone, all these software almost have the similar kind of technology. Only the difference you will be having in the process or some of the different features other software one or two may have. But you must know these five software. Apart from that, especially the huge means those professionals who are dealing with the research support services, they are supposed to learn about anti-plagiarism software like Turnitin, which is a commercial software, but there are many open source software like Flag Checker, Viper. These software are also available, which you can go to the website and learn, or you can just improve your skill that how these software work, how uh, the what the mechanism is being followed in these anti-plagiarism software. Similarly, there is just software Grammarly. That Grammarly, this is grammar correction online. Whatever the document we prepare, research proposal we write, or any document related to your library or research is prepared, and there may be a probability that you may be having some grammar related issue. So this Grammarly, which is available to use freely as well as the commercial subscription. So you can just log in and browse the different features of the Grammarly. The Pivot is a research funding website being managed by the ProQuest, and you will get lot of research funding option there. So especially those who are research scholar or dealing with those friends who are dealing with the different research projects, and they are seeking any research funding, so they can go to this website and they can explore the different features of the research funding uh, availability. And then another online software, that is the Typeset, which helps you to write and submit better research paper. And Typeset is basically the collection of 40,000 journal templates. So when you go to this website, you can freely create your account, and you can get an opportunity to write and submit research paper with the available journal templates. So I request all my friends, especially the young friends, to please browse these and update your skill so that it helps you wherever you go for interview, wherever you write the exam, or wherever you are working. Moving to the this is the expertise in technology. Especially these days we talk a lot about abstract and citation database. That is there we get means, especially if we talk about Scopus. So it is the product of Elsevier. It was launched in 2004, and it covers approximately 36,377 titles from approximately more than 11,600 publishers, and uh, means of which 34,346 peer reviewed journals. So this is basically a citation database covering the subject life science, social science, physical science, and health science, and it will help you to get the list of means publication year wise, means author wise. Lot of features are available. So those who have the subscription or have the access of this Scopus, or even if you do not have the subscription, there is a lot of there are lot of tutorials, a lot of documentation available in the website of the Scopus. There you can get and you can browse, you can learn what a Scopus can do and what best you can get from the Scopus. In the similar way, Web of Science also provides subscription based access to multiple databases. It is also a citation database which helps you to browse the resources and uh, just in similar pattern, but it is being managed by the uh, basically it was developed by the Institute for Scientific Information, but now it is being maintained by the Clarivate Analytics. So you can go to this particular website and you can first browse. You see what are the documents available, and I personally believe that especially these two websites, every professional should go and should browse and should learn what the content is available and what means what we can do, what we can provide to the end users. Okay, now the next is these are some online tools like Weber tool. I think in my previous webinar also I discussed about this tool, Weber tool, which helps you to highlight, organize, and create your research in one place. And means strongly believe that everyone should use this tool. This is a very good tool, and if you are using the browser, it provides the plugin also. The benefit is, for example, I'm using any PDF file and I'm writing any research proposal or any research article. I may go around or I may browse thousands of documents, but it is not possible for me to remember everything properly. So what can happen that uh, this particular tool I can use for highlighting my research work, and when I am compiling my research, so I can easily trace which document I referred when I was writing the paper, which document I referred when I was writing my research proposal. So this webertools.com, you can go and you can just learn about this, how it can help you uh, in organizing your research item. Then there are other like e-databases, e-journals, e-books, videos, data sets, e-reference sources. About all these, I'll be discussing in detail, especially in the next session. But some of the resources, especially which are useful for the librarians, I have mentioned in the slide. So I'll be talking about that also. But in detail, I'll be discussing in the next session in continuation of this particular session. Okay, this there are different applications which one is supposed to learn, and like we library professionals always conduct different kind of user awareness program, different kind of user meetings, different kind of interactions. So we need to learn how we can market our services. We deal with the so many things in library. uh, we also should think that how we can reach the user in effective way, because if we maintain the standard, So that somewhere it will help you to attract the users towards library. So this is my personal belief. If you are dealing means with the web application development or designing of the website or designing any pamphlet or designing e-newsletter, so you may come across different means image editing opportunities. So there you means every professional should learn this technique, that how to manage the you can say image editing, how to manage the GIMP software. There are two basically tools. Irfan is basically one software which can help you to convert the different image in means I think more than 50 format. And also you can play so many things with that software. You can cut it, you can copy paste, you can resize, you can change the color of that image. So many advantage of this image Irfan view. In similar pattern, there is a software that is the GIMP. It is you can say that the substitute of Adobe Photoshop. So it helps a lot in order to edit the image. So everyone should try and should learn, especially this particular software. I will suggest every professional to install in your laptop or desktop and use it. It is very helpful software. There is a website for file conversion. All the time we get lot of files. Sometimes it is Excel, PDF, Word, or we get different kind of files. So and we need to convert those files in the different formats. So there is a very good online tool, that is the jamjar.com, and it can help you the conversion means easily possible, because you can directly upload the file, and it will easily, it will opt you means provide you the option. You can opt any option and it will convert your file in that particular format and give you the result. So this is very good online website. Everyone should try. And today when the session ends, I will request all of you to please start with jamjar.com. So if you are already aware, there is no issue, you can explore more. If you are not aware, you just go to this conversion tool and find out more. Then the Microsoft Publisher, which is inbuilt software in Office package. I have not seen people using this, but especially I have used personally. I have experience, and this is wonderful software for designing the e-newsletter. In order to market our libraries services, every professional should think about marketing the library services, because we deal with so many things in library. We also should think that how we can reach the user with these. So in that way, the e-newsletter can be a very helpful tool, just like a website. We can design e-newsletter covering all the details, what is happening in the library, what is happening in the institute, what is happening around the globe in the field of library in that or in that particular area. So this will help users to get the information at one in one file, and will definitely like it to use it for their purpose, different purposes. The another one is the local web server. We have so many software these days, and especially we run it in the local environment. Sometimes we run it in online, but most of the times we feel difficulty in getting the online environment, because either it has to be provided by the institute, or it has to be provided by the means you have to manage online. So many times it happens that we do not get the server online. So in that case, we can maintain our own local web server with the help of open source Jam software. This is a very good web software. ApacheFriends.org website address is ApacheFriends.org. This particular Jam can help you to build local web server in your computer with Apache, MySQL, PHP, and Perl. So any kind of software which is written in PHP and runs with Apache and MySQL, in using this web server can be run in your local computer. And especially the content management system like Joomla, WordPress, for learning, you can use this software in your computer itself. So my strong recommendation for this JAMP is to you all, especially those who have started or willing to learn about all these Joomla, WordPress. So this web server you can install in your local. How to install, how to use this whole detail you can get in the online YouTube channel, uh, librarian guide, or there are different other channels also which can help you to learn. Now moving to the next slide. This is typing speed. I strongly believe when we go to working environment or in different organization, these days we come across many work which is directly related to computer and we are supposed to type, and we struggle to prepare the document. Why? Because we are not habitual to type. So we just see the keyboard and find the keyword where is A, B, C, D, and then accordingly we adjust our typing and prepare the letter. This is a website, learntyping.org. Just spend 30 minutes every day, and I'm 100% sure within a month of within 2 months, your typing speed is going to be wonderful. And if you compare your 2 months back status, you will find that you are much far, means you are very far from the previous situation, and your speed of typing will become good. It will help you to prepare or manage the document. So especially the young professionals should definitely learn this. I strongly request, this is my request to all young professionals who have just started their career. They all should learn this because this help a lot in management of your personal day-to-day routine work in library. And also means personal writing your article, writing your research work, or so many things. And these days the best thing that we are doing most of the things with the you can say the uh, uh, computer. So now I'm coming to the another one, that is the resources for users. I'll go quickly. There are I think thousands of millions of resources available online, but we have to find out those resources and we have to use. I have tried to compile some of the resources very useful for the users, and also some of the resources very useful for the librarians. So we must know about all this so that we can provide the services to our end users with ease. So in order to means get the detail, especially for the users, the first one is the Internet Public Library, the IPL.org. You get a lot of information. It has more than 5 lakh essays and other details also. So you just browse this. Second one is the scout.wisc.edu. It has different kind of research groups, and it has the different kind of reports you can get by going to this website. Very good resource, Internet Scout, which will help you to fetch different projects, different publication, and also it has the different archives. So just go and browse this resource. Then library and archives. It is a library, an archive of Canada, which provides an opportunity to access more than 30,000 monographs books. So this is also a very good archived electronic collection, a collection of digital books and journals. So you can access this particular website at collectionscanada.gc.ca, and there if you go to this website, so you will be getting all the details to this website. Now Internet Archive, you will really find this amazing. I never experienced or I never imagined that technology will go to that far. The website, this Internet Archive, the use of this particular Internet Archive is especially people use it, that is the non-profit library of million of free books, movies, software. But another advantage is that suppose I'm using the website, I was using one website in 2014, and I want to see that how my website used to look in 2014. Suppose I have made a lot of changes. So you can get the detail of the previous website which was being maintained in 2014, and you will get the same. You try this today, you will get the same in similar way it was in 2014. The website is the archive.org. It is a very good website, and you just explore it, and on different particular date also you can choose that. Suppose after 1 month you made some changes in the same year, so how it was looking, it will give you the look, and you can see that. Now moving to the next slide. This is resources for librarians. Actually, there are a lot of resources, and the best part I found that whatever the document we are we are trying to search in the uh, online environment, we have different databases of different publisher like Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis, just so many are there. If you just start counting, there are plenty. But the best part of these website, that they have the one corner of for librarians, resources for librarians. And when you go to these website, you will get plenty of information useful for your personal development and also for the users, especially like Elsevier, Springer, Taylor and Francis. These websites have wonderful resources for librarians. So you just go to these website and browse it. You will get plenty of resources useful for your professional development. So like Oxford University Press, this is also one very good website. Then yeah, ALSC, this is for a division of the American Library Association. You will find lot of professional tool for librarians serving youth. So just go to this website and browse it, and you will come across lot of tools helpful for your professional development and also for managing your library work. This is American Library website, recommended reading librarian professional resources, and this is resources of Wiley. Then this is resources for school librarians. You will get lot of learning and teaching material, information access, collection development policy, catalog selection tool, then program administration, importance of school librarians, statistical studies of school libraries, literature lesson plan and skill lesson plan. Lot of material you will get here. The website is the sldirectory.com, resource for school librarians. So you'll get plenty of materials here. Just browse it and you get material. This is librarian resources of Taylor and Francis. Build a library fit for the future. So browse this resource and get plenty of information. And this is international standard serial number. That is the international center, issn.org. Basically the directory of open access scholarly resources. So lot of plenty of resources available here, continuing resources in the electronic and print world. So please browse this resource. Then directory of open access journals and open access books. These two websites we all must browse because it has a huge collection of the open access journals, approximate 14,582, and 11,568 searchable at article level, and it covers more than 130 countries, 133 countries, and have the collection of 48 lakh 74,511 articles. So you will get lot of articles and means useful information here, open access in nature in journal category. Similarly, directory of open access books, which also has means 28,284 academic peer reviewed books. So 381 publisher. This is also a very good site everyone must access who are looking for the open access book. Then resources for librarians. This is a directory of open access repository. This repository will help you to learn about the open access repository around the globe. In my previous 2-3 webinar, I mentioned this open access repository directory of open access repository, and the next one is the registry of open access repository. This is also a very good being managed by the ePrint, University of Southampton, UK. So you will get how many people are using ePrint around the globe in open access repository category. And now, so my today's session ends here, and I hope I have been able to cover the maximum things required for one library professional who has just started the career or is not aware about what can be done in the library. So in my opinion, whatever I have discussed, every library professional must know about all this. But the the meeting does not end here, because I have not covered many things. I have not covered about the associations. I have not covered about the different the schemes for library professional for the career enhancement. I have not covered the different policies, how we can develop the policy, how we can prepare the report, how we can prepare the meeting minutes. So all these official documents, how to manage, I will be talking about all these in the next session. So probably we will be having, not probably, let us have this session tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. So tomorrow I am having one webinar which I'll postpone for the other day, but this we will complete by tomorrow, whatever the point we have left. So thank you very much for being supportive and listening me patiently. Now I request means all of you, if you have any query or question, so you can please raise, and I can take some of the question and I will be happy to answer. I hope you all enjoyed the session. So let me I think I muted everyone, so it is not showing. So let me remove. I think you all can unmute yourself. No. Okay. Let me unmute all of you. Okay. Or you can just type in chat, so it will be easy for me to answer. I think you all can hear me properly. Okay, that's really good. 1 minute. Let me find that option. Where is that? Oh. Where it is hidden. Okay, please raise your question, so I'll answer those questions. Or else you can directly write me, so it will be helpful for me to. Yeah, I got it now. Muted you all. Please, those who are not going to speak, please. Anyone can raise the. Anyone can raise the hand and can put up the question if anyone of you have. Not able to get any question.
Hello.
सोचेगी तो बात मैं लड़की एक दिन अब
Going to have a question from someone.
वो इनके ऊपर 1% भी चांस नहीं।
मैंने कह दी थी सारे के बीच में मैं कहा भैया सिर्फ एक शब्द सुनना
So we
बाकी
are
रह
not
गया है
going to
कसर लगा लगी मैं सिर्फ एक बात और
in the session now. Thank you very much. If you have any query or question, you can directly write me a mail to drkill@gmail.com. Definitely reply you on that. So thank you all once again for being so supportive. Let us meet tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. Thank you all. Have a nice evening.
खुद एक गलती बना